The crystalline hall of the Vexthera Empire stretched before Kevin like a cathedral made of starlight. Towering aliens from a dozen species lined the obsidian tables, their exotic forms casting strange shadows in the bioluminescent glow. Kevin tugged at his diplomatic uniform collar. Feeling utterly out of place among the galaxy's elite, he was just a junior, attached from Earth, assigned to carry Ambassador Chin's briefcase, nothing more. Yet here he stood, abandoned by his superior, who'd been called away for an emergency consultation, leaving Kevin alone at humanity's first formal intergalactic banquet. Find your seat marker, the chittering protocol droid had instructed before. Scuttling away, Kevin squinted at the floating holographic symbols above each chair. The human glyphs should have been obvious, but in the disorienting alien light, everything looked the same. He spotted what he thought was Earth's symbol, a blue circle with white clouds, and quickly sat down, relieved to be off his trembling legs. The moment his weight settled on the chair, the room fell silent. Every alien head turned toward him, compound eyes, sensor stalks, and optical clusters all locked onto the human who'd just made a catastrophic mistake. Kevin's blood ran cold. He'd sat in the wrong seat. Before he could stand, a figure emerged from the shadows at the far end of the hall. She moved with predatory grace, her form humanoid but unmistakably alien. Princess Jasmine Zarthok of the Crimson Dynasty stood nearly 7 feet tall, her skin a deep burgundy marked with silver war tattoos that glowed like molten metal. Her forearms moved independently, to resting on the hilts of plasma blades at her hips, the others clasped behind her back. She was known across 70 star systems as the Deadliest Princess. Oreo Hood personally led the conquest of 17 rebellious worlds before her 20th solar cycle, and Kevin was sitting in her chair. Huan, her voice resonated through the hall like distant thunder, translated instantly by his neural implant. Do you know what you've done? Kevin shot to his feet, his chair clattering backward. I'm sorry, Your Highness. I didn't mean silence. One of her upper hands rose, and Kevin's voice died in his throat, not from fear alone, but from the subtle psionic pressure she exerted. In my culture, to take another's seat is to issue a challenge of worthiness. Murmurs rippled through the assembled aliens. Some species clicked in what might have been amusement. Others hissed in anticipation of violence. Kevin's mind raced. He'd read the briefing materials, but nothing had prepared him for this. I meant no challenge, Princess. I'm just what you meant is irrelevant. Jasmine stepped closer, her boots clicking on the polished floor. The challenge has been issued. By our law, it must be answered. She stopped 3 feet away, towering over him. Her 4 eyes, 2 primary, 2 smaller orbital sensors studied him with unnerving intensity. Kevin could see his own reflection in those alien orbs, small and pathetically fragile. However, Jasmine continued, and something shifted in her tone. Our law also states that the challenged may choose the nature of the contest: combat, strategy, endurance. She paused, her lipless mouth curving into something that might have been a smile, or wit. Kevin swallowed hard. Combat was suicide, strategy against an alien mind. Impossible. But wit, he managed to croak out. Another wave of murmurs. Jasmine's silver tattoos pulsed brighter. Bold, she said. Very well, answer me this, human. What is the greatest strength of your species? Every diplomatic answer Kevin had been taught fled his mind. He thought of the prepared speeches about human innovation, about cooperation, about resilience. But looking into those alien eyes, he knew false bravado would be detected instantly, so he told the truth. Our greatest strength is that we're idiots who don't know when to quit. Silence crashed over the hall like a wave. Kevin continued, his voice growing steadier. We're not the strongest. We're not the smartest. We don't have your forearms or your psionic abilities. But we're too stupid to accept defeat. When the universe says impossible, we say watch this. When logic says to surrender, we double down on the dumbest possible plan. We're the species that looked at the stars and said yes, we'll walk there. When we barely understood fire, we're the cosmic equivalent of that one person who brings a knife to a gunfight and somehow wins because nobody expects it. He met her gaze directly, something his diplomatic training said never to do with a predator species. I sat in your chair by accident, Your Highness. But a human didn't invent the warp drive by being careful. We didn't survive the climate wars by playing it safe. And I'm standing here answering your challenge, because retreating isn't in our DNA even when it should be. For a long moment, Jasmine said nothing. Her tattoos pulsed in patterns Kevin couldn't decipher. Then, slowly, all 4 of her hands moved in a gesture Kevin's implant translated as profound respect. You speak truth with the voice of a warrior, she said. Not the warrior who seeks glory, but the warrior who faces death and laughs at its pretensions. She turned to address the assembled aliens, her voice carrying to every corner of the vast hall. I have traveled the stars and met thousand species. I have seen civilizations that wield dark matter like clay and beings who exist in dimensions beyond counting. But today, I have met something rare, a species too foolish to fear the impossible, and therefore destined to achieve it. Jasmine's forehands extended toward Kevin in what his implant labeled as the highest gesture of alliance in her culture. The challenge is satisfied. But more than that, her eyes fixed on his with an intensity that made his chest tighten. I have made my choice. If humanity can produce one such as you, with courage wrapped in honesty and foolishness forged into wisdom, then this is a species the Crimson Dynasty will call friend. She gestured to the seat Kevin had accidentally claimed. Sit, Kevin of Earth. Not in my chair but at my right hand, where honored allies belong. As Kevin sat in the correct seat this time, beside the deadliest princess in the galaxy, he couldn't help but think, Ambassador Chen was going to absolutely kill him when he heard about this, or promote him. With humans it was always hard to tell.